What do you have here? Lies. You see this right here? This is an illustration of them building a railroad. Because for some reason, we actually fell for it. We actually thought some guys out in the Midwest in the 1800s getting paid a quarter a day were strategically laying down even things of wood, putting down metal rails on top, nailing them down, and without a doubt, that was enough to support this structure right here, going all the way across, heavy as it is, with its load. The truth is, they ain't build this shit. Let me show you. First off, do you ever notice every single time you see an old Western movie with them fighting the Indians, right? What is it always about? It is always about the railroad. If you watched any movie, ever just realize it's always about the railroad? Anytime they try to show you some settlement, 1800s, you ever just notice they always try and make it about the railroad? And the railroad baron has all this power and, oh, we got to get this railroad done. Oh, we're working on the railroad. That's a psyop. It's a psyop to get it in your head that they're building the railroad. So you start to think they built the railroad. Again, if they're putting it on TV, if they're constantly hammering it into your head, they're lying to you. Take a look at this picture here. What do you see? I guess this is supposed to be an image of these guys. I guess supposedly they're building the railroad. What do all of them have in their hand? A shovel. Not a tool belt. Not anything necessary to actually build a rail. Do you have any idea the kind of tools you would need to get this down in here and get this solid so that this structure can go on it stable with no issues? Why do they all have shovels? What the hell makes you think in the 1800s, first off, this is made out of wrought iron. Wrought iron. In the 1800s, railroad tracks were primarily made of wrought iron. Wrought iron, which is not, it's different than regular iron. It's actually a better form of iron. So, you have to understand something, okay? Somehow with horse and buggy, these rail lines, which are heavy as, you would need hundreds of miles of this if this is what you're laying. Where are they getting that from? Who's transporting that for them? Also, how are you carrying that? On horse and buggy? How are you cutting this? How are you measuring that? Let's go a step further. How are you measuring this? Look at the symmetry of this. How are you even accomplishing this in the 1800s? Let's not forget, you already know how you act. Getting $16 an hour. You don't even give a fuck. But you want to tell me these dudes is out there getting like a quarter a day and they're out there doing great railroad work? Give me a fucking break. The real secret? The Masonic rail barons. They were no different than the guys who made up the lies for the buildings. These quote-unquote rail barons were the ones responsible for digging up the Tartarian rail lines and making it seem as if they were building it. They ain't built shit. But you know the white NPC always wants you to think he's responsible for building some shit when he ain't built a goddamn thing. And I'm gonna show it to you right now, and there's nothing they can do to refute it. Now, you and I both know they're not gonna tell you the truth. Let's find out who these individuals are. William Henry Vanderbilt, president of the New York Central Railroad. Most powerful tycoons in the U.S. railroad industry, right? On the left, Cyrus West, right? And who controlled the New York Elevated Railroad Company? On the right is Jay Gould, who controlled the Union Pacific Railroad. Controlled Union Pacific Railroad. Like I said, these Masonic barons were made to come up with lies for the rail lines the same way they came up with lies for the buildings. Let me show you. Now remember, who controlled the Union Pacific Railroad. Let's take a look. Union Pacific laying track through Weber Canyon, 1868. Okay, I want y'all to take a look. Take a look. Does it look like they're laying track? Why would you even say the words laying track? Look at all the mud. Laying track? Do you see a stack of tracks or anything anywhere to be laid? No, you see a bunch of mud and stuff all over the place. They are excavating. Digging up the rail lines. That's why they all got shovels in their hand, no tool bolts, no nothing else. They just digging up the rail line. That's it. Look at them. Every single one of them got shovels. Because that's the truth, people. History's a lie. They ain't built no railroad. What are they doing right here? Come on, y'all. Come on. You got common sense. What does this look like? Exactly. And see, if you're going to put the mud flood in there, you got to go mud flood. Oh, shit. The rail lines are going to be under the mud. They're going to have to dig them up. Territory of both Americas. Look, both photos. A crowd of people is actively digging up the railroad tracks. Why were the roads under a layer of soil 2 or 3 feet tall? Union Pacific, y'all got any answers? We know for a fact without a doubt this happened. And we know the truth always reveals itself because we are in the age of awakening. Another Tartarian structure they wanted to say they built in 1 year. You know they ain't built that in 1 year. Look at these clowns. Now, this is important. Pay attention. Look at this building. Look at where the door is. That's where the door is. That's where the original ground was until they excavated this out. Look at where that door is. All the way up there. That's not where the door's supposed to be. Look at all the structure down here. And another thing. Look over here. What do you think that is? Yeah. That's the rail line. Where do you think it was? It was underneath all of that dirt, just like the building was underneath the dirt. They ain't lay that rail line. They dug it up. You just gotta look. They wasn't doing nothing like this and forging nothing like this. This is all a fabrication. And that's why they fabricated it in the movies. And every time you watch a movie or a Western, they always put that bolt-ass railroad construction in there. At the end of the day, they've just been playing in our face. But when the mind is blind, the eyes can't see. Until now.